Well, it certainly throws up even more questions and intrigue around all of this, doesn't it? Obviously, Steve Bannon has not yet been questioned and maybe never will be. And this is not, this article, this book is not part of the official investigation, but certainly it raises far more questions. And it provoked an enormously angry attack from President Trump, a blistering rebuke of his former, one of his closest aides. He kind of completely dismissed Steve Bannon and suggested that when he lost his job, he also lost his mind. Some people suggesting that it was particularly the attacks on his family, on President Trump's family, that will have really got his anger going, and also the fact that President Trump's legal team had told him that this investigation would likely to have been wrapped up by the end of last year, by the end of 2017, and clearly that has not happened. We understand that his lawyers met with some of the Mueller team just before Christmas and have now stopped giving the president a specific timeline and a specific date when this could be over. So clearly he's angry at the way the timeline of this has shifted. He's probably also angry to be back to a very cold Washington, D.C. after a sunny time over the New Year in his residence in Florida, combined with the attack on his family, and he has unleashed a hugely angry response to this. As to what it actually means legally for the investigation, we will have to wait to see if it leads the investigators to do any more digging in that area.
And Kate, as we mentioned, the president's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, who has just been charged as part of the investigation, has announced he's suing the US Justice Department and Special Counsel Mueller. On what grounds?
Well, he is saying that the investigation has overreached its initial reason for being, if you like. It was set up in order to specifically investigate Russia's meddling in the election and whether anyone associated with the president was involved in that. And Paul Manafort is saying that the things he has been charged with, notably money laundering, all those alleged incidents happened a long time before the election and a long time before he began working for Donald Trump. And he is saying that it is not part of Robert Mueller's scope to look at that part of his life, which happened before the election. Legal analysts here say that he may have a point and it could discredit Robert Mueller slightly, but they don't believe that it will have a large effect on the legal outcome of this investigation. But it is an example, a further example of the Republicans getting a little bit more feisty in their response to this investigation. As I mentioned before, it is going on longer than they had hoped that it would. They would all hoped it would have finished by the end of last year, and perhaps they are beginning to ramp up their response to it. Certainly, it was quite an unusual move that people weren't expecting.